welcome back. So a while back, I think it was almost a year ago, I saw this picture on Instagram and I completely fell in love with the hat she was wearing, and that's why I sprinted to my crochet hook, and just 1 year later I created a pattern for this hat, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. I also did the exact same hat in 2 different colors since I made the pattern, which is a solid color, and I use different yarns using it, and I will show you these examples at the end, just so you have an idea what else you could do or how it turns out when you use different yarn. So without any further ado, I always wanted to say that. I always feel like people who do tutorials always say that. So without any further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Let's go. To start off this hat, you're basically doing a flat circle. For this you can use any yarn you would like. I have this leftover yarn from my grandma, and I will be using 2 strands at a time because I want to have a little bit of a thicker hat, and I'll be using a 7mm hook, but adjust the hook size and what kind of yarn you are using with what you have or want to use. I am going to show you 2 methods how to start a flat circle, and starting with the first one, you are going to start the round with a slip knot, just like this, and then put your hook through, fasten it, and then start with your chains. So for this method, you are going to chain 4, so you are going to yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook, and do that 4 times, so like this. And after that, you are going to go back to the beginning of the chain and put your hook through the very first loop. And here you are not going to just put it through the loop like this, but try to catch the back side of the loop. Also, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. So we basically created a chain and connected it at the end to create this circle with a hole in the middle. And what is happening next is going to be half double crochets within this hole in the middle. So what I'm going to do is yarn over, put my hook through the hole in the middle, yarn over, pull through that hole, and now I should have 3 loops on my hook. You will see 6 strands of yarn, but 2 of those are always come in a pair with the way I do it here. I'm going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops on my hook, like this. So the half double crochet I will do 8 times in total. So I already have this 1 time and I will repeat it 7 more times. How many times you have to do the half double crochet into the middle hole depends on your yarn size and the yarn or the hook size you are using. I would suggest to do at least 7, and something between 7 and 10, maybe 12 half double crochets into the middle. It does not really have an effect on the way the flat circle turns out, but it is rather dependent on how thick your yarn is and how large of a hook size you're using. So I'll be doing 8 half double crochets into the middle to start off my first inner, or it's basically the first round to start off the circle, like this. Coming to an end of my 8 half double crochets, I will be identifying the very first stitch or half double crochet I made and inserting my hook into the first loop. Watch out that you are not putting it into the wrong stitch, but I will be yarning over and pulling that one through every loop I have. And from here on, I would be starting the next round by chaining 1 and continuing from here on out with the row 2. If you want, you can tighten the back thread that should be hanging out to close off the center a little bit. But what I'm going to do now is open everything up again and show you the second method, which is the magic ring, which I, for some reason, prefer. To start with the magic ring, I am holding the yarn with my thumb like this, turning my hand and twisting the yarn around my hand like that and crossing it over. Let me show again. I'm holding it down, turning my hand and wrapping it around, doing a cross. Then I would take my hook, go under, grab the yarn and pull it through. And if I open up everything, this is what it should look like. You can adjust it a little bit if you like, but it's not really necessary. And then I will wrap the yarn around my hand like when I'm working with it and do 1 chain to secure everything. So I will tighten everything a little bit. This is basically the point where we had the last time with the chains and the hole in the middle. And that here is the big hole basically. And we are going to work the half double crochets into here now. Don't worry, the hole looks really big right now, but in the way the magic ring works, you can really easily tighten it after you're done with the whole half double crochets. So what I'm going to do is yarn over, go into the middle space, yarn over, pull through, and then 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 3. And I'm going to do the exact same thing 7 more times just as before. So I have 8 half double crochets in total, and work my way until I'm at 8. So while I'm doing it, I'm holding the ring in the middle a little bit to have it a little bit easier to work with. But it can be a little bit difficult because it's very floppy at this stage. So you should have a tail left that is right here, and if you pull on it, the circle will tighten and a circle is created. You can also tighten it a little bit earlier if you have the loop is too big or anything, to make it easier for yourself. And the same thing as before, I'm looking at the very first stitch of the round I did and inserting my hook into the first stitch, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through to finish off the first inner circle, tighten off. So starting off round 2 with chain 1, I will be doing half double crochets into every stitch that is coming, but rather than doing just 1 half double crochet in 1 stitch, I will be doing 2 in the same stitch. So yarn over, go to through the first stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3. And instead of going into the next stitch with the next half double crochet, I will do 1 more into the same stitch. So same exact thing, like that, and that is what I'm going to be doing for the whole round. So 2 half double crochets into every single stitch. Coming to an end with row 2, you might notice that the inner part of your circle is getting wider again. So what you can do is always pull on the little string at the end and it will tighten again, and in the end if you will weave it in, it won't happen again. So same thing with ending this round as before. I'm looking at the very first stitch of the round, inserting my hook into that chain space, and have a look out for not using the chain 1 we are using to starting the round. Yarn over, pull through and pull through. Starting the next row with chain 1, we are doing a little bit of a different system with the third row. Instead of doing 2 half double crochets into every stitch, so like we did the row before, I am going to alternate between 2 half double crochets into the same stitch and then doing 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, then do 2 again into the same stitch, and then 1 again, 2, 1, and that goes all around until you're back at the start. So I'm going to start with a half double crochet into the first stitch like we did before, and go then a half double crochet into the next stitch and do a second one into the same one, then do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Oh, it gets tangled sometimes. And then do 2 half double crochets within the same stitch with the next one, and alternating between 2 half double crochets into the same stitch and 1 half double crochet into the stitch until we're back at the very start. So we are back at the start of row 3, and same thing as the rows before, I'm going to see where my very first stitch of the round is, and not confusing the chain 1 of the start of round 3. I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the remaining loop on the hook, and starting the next row with a chain 1. With the row 4, we are going to start with a half double crochet in the first stitch and a half double crochet in the second stitch, and then 2 half double crochets into the third stitch. And that is the pattern we are going to go all around, and with each row we are adding to the circle, there's going to be one more stitch that is only having 1 half double crochet. In the row below we had the same system basically, so 1 half double crochet in one stitch, then 2, then 1, and so on and so on. In the fourth row we have 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2, 1, 1, 2, and so on. And with each added round there's going to be one more stitch that is only having 1 half double crochet. So that is basically the system we are going for. So at row 4 we have 1 half double crochet, and then the next one also 1 half double crochet, following with 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and repeating 1 half double crochet like this, next stitch 1 half double crochet, and then the next stitch gets 2 half double crochets into the same loop. So that system makes that you have a flat circle like this, and you're going to continue with the rows as big as you need it, and I'm going to meet you back when I am at the point where I think that's enough for my head. So I am back. That is what we have here right now. A nice flat circle. If you'd count the very first ring we did as a row, I did 7 rows in total, which means that I did 2 half double crochets into the same stitch every 6th row, and I ended up the round the way I did the very first ones as well. So going into the very first stitch of the round, inserting my hook and pulling through, so I am left with that situation here. The size of your circle obviously also depends on your hook size and yarn size. So my measurement is roughly 19 centimeters. So you can use that as a reference if you're done or not. If your head might be bigger or smaller, you can adjust your rows, of course. Even if you're using the exact same yarn and hook size as me, it also differs with the way you are crocheting and the tension you're using. So for me, it's roughly 19 centimeters, and I'm going to go further from here. Since we are done with the flat part, we are no longer going to be adding rows that side. We are going to go up now at this point. So that means there's a switch in what we are doing. If you would like to do the hat in one color, you do not need to do the switch I'm doing right here, but I'm going to show you how I am switching colors. So I am doing one more chain one like this, and then I'm going to switch to this pretty color, which is also leftover yarn from my grandma's attic. They are pretty similar in thickness, the two yarns that I'm using. If they are different by a little bit, it does not really matter. At least I have not had any major issues with that. If they're roughly the same size, that works fine. I'm going to cut off this little end bit because it was a little bit messy at that point. So for the next round, we are also working with half double crochets, but not doing the increases by every other stitch. So that means I am doing half double crochet into each and every single stitch. Maybe I'll just show you with the yarn I have on my hook right now, so it's a little bit easier. The difference here is we are going to work into the back loop only, like this. So normally you would yarn over for the half double crochet and insert your hook into the stitch like this, so you have the V shape on top with both of the loops. But the difference now is I'm going to put the hook through the back loop only and work a normal half double crochet as I would normally. What that does is it creates this type of edge on the very top of the hat, which I think looks just really nice, so I like to use it. So maybe I just do a couple of stitches to show you without the color change, just to get an idea of what's happening. So you have this chain one, and you start with a half double crochets into the back loop like this, and pull through 3 and go all around. And without the increases, we will be creating a brim of the hat. So that is what you would basically do to do the brim part of the hat if you would choose to have the same color all around. But what I'm going to show you now is how I'm going to do a color change. So I will open that part up again, up until the chain one part. Now I'm going to snip that yarn at a length, leaving a little bit of a tail. So I leave out quite a bit of the yarn that I was working with before, like that. And I am starting to yarn over, and still with the same yarn, inserting my hook into the back loop as I would when I would continue with a normal half double crochet. But instead of yarning over the same yarn I was using before, I will switch to the next color here and pull that new color through the three loops on my hook, like that. And that is basically how I do the color change, because from now on I will be doing half double crochets with that yarn. So here we have the old color, and now switching, going into the next stitch, doing half double crochets like that, just working with the new yarn. That is basically also what I do when I am finishing up with a ball of yarn and have to add even the same color. That is also what I'm doing there. And I'm going to continue the half double crochets all around with the new color now, like this. If you get used to these kinds of transitions of yarns, what I like to do now is put the ends I have of all the yarns and put them right on top of my stitches. So I will basically weave in the ends while I go, so I don't have to do it later on, but for now that should be fine. So I am getting to the end of that row, and this is the last stitch. And the same way I was ending off the rows before, I am searching for the very first stitch, inserting my hook into that very first stitch of that round, and then yarning over and pull through the loop on my hook. And then my plan is to do one more round of this orange color before I will be switching colors again. And for that I will be starting the next round with chain 1. And if I flip this hat inside out now, you see what happened because of the half double crochet into the back loop. This kind of brim is created like this. And because I only want to have this brim on that part of the hat, I will be doing the next half double crochets into the stitch like normal. So I'm not doing the half double crochet into the back loop like the one round before. I will be going into the stitch like this. So before we would go inside here, and now we are going to use the stitch as normal. Doing half double crochets again all around, 1 half double crochet in each stitch. That round is also almost done. 1 more half double crochet into that last stitch, and finishing off that round again, inserting my hook into the very first stitch of the round, yarning over, pull through, and pull through the loop on my hook. And that is the point where I would switch colors again to this white cream color here. So we're going to do the same thing as before. So I'm chaining 1. I am doing the switch of the color a little bit different than the round before. So I'm starting the next round with a chain 1. And then starting with my half double crochet, I'm yarning over, inserting my hook into the stitch, and then come around and put my new yarn over my hook and pulling that one through the stitch. So it is part of the 3 loops on my hook, and then yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops on my hook. And then continue using the new color that I have on my hook now. I will snip off the old color and continue crocheting with the new yarn color. The round before, I switched colors at the part where I would pull through all 3 loops on my hook, and in this instance I did it 1 step before. It doesn't really matter, the colors are switched at that point. And yeah, I'm going to continue with half double crochet in each stitch and go around until I am back at the start of the round. We are at the end of the first row with the beige color, and same thing as the rows before. I'm going to finish off the round by inserting my hook into the very first stitch and go through the loop on my hook, and then starting the new round with a chain 1. I'll be doing the exact same pattern with the beige yarn up until I have the length of the brim that I want. I want to fold it over at the end, but still have it covered my forehead basically. So what I will be doing is go around in the same pattern, and when I think I am done, I will try it on, and then I will meet you back here again. Alright, coming to an end. I am at the length that I like for my hat to be. So what's left to do is do the last 2 stitches. Like that. Find the very first stitch we started the round with, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop on the hook, and then chain 1 and cut the yarn and pull through. Now you can fasten it a little bit. So I ended up with a total length of around 18 centimeters from the very top part, but you can see how you like the fit to be. I sometimes stopped and put it on my head and folded the edge around and looked how I liked it, and that's about the length that I like. The only thing left to do is weave in this little end and the few ends on the inside here, and then it's basically done. On the reference picture that I saw, which I really liked, she also had a patch at the front. I might crochet that one as well, but for now the hat is done. I also have this hat in this very bright blue. It is a little bit of a thinner yarn, so it is a little bit more floppy, but I still think it works. It works maybe a little bit more like a beanie now, and I think it is also very cute. I also did this same exact pattern in all black, and I will insert some footage here because I don't have this hat anymore because it was a gift. And it has this little patch in the front of a husky because that is my friend's logo. So I made him a hat with this little patch. Yeah, just wanted to show you as well. Alright, that's it. Hope someone makes it and loves it as much as I do. Thank you for watching. Bye! Oh, shit. I touched the lens. Don't tell anyone, but I have not weaved in the ends yet.